a $5.2 million settlement. Yeah.
Sorry. Non Apologetic news. Kanye West is in the news. Surprise, surprise. We also have law enforcement arguing with each other. All that and more today on Non Apologetic News. You ready for the news?
Hell yeah.
Give the people what they want is what I say. We're going to report on someone that we've interviewed on this show before. Do you remember that man's name?
Yay.
That is correct. He is issuing cease and desist letters to restaurants now. There is a restaurant in Australia which is called College Dropout Burgers. Now, College Dropout was apparently a name of a Kanye West CD. They also used a modified version of this cartoon bear that Kanye uses in some aspect. I'm not really sure. They started noticing that Kanye West was viewing their stories on Instagram. So they made a post and they're like, I must have found God because Kanye West has been deep in our stories, over 10 story views now. What they didn't know is he was gathering evidence. A little bit later, they get a cease and desist saying that they must change the name and everything. Look at that burger. Does that not just look fresh and delicious?
It does.
Like, that looks amazing.
Is that an egg on top of it?
I don't know, but I would devour it. They do say, Kanye West has made such an impact on my life, I can't be mad at this. So they are complete simps here. But he does take a little cheeky jab at Kanye. He goes, it's probably best we change the name because not everyone is a Kanye West fan, am I right? Now, I know a little bit about trademark law. Like, I own the name Travisty, right? But when you trademark something, you don't just trademark it like, because I own the name Travesty doesn't mean someone can't make a movie called Travesty, can't use the word. You own it in one or multiple categories. I own the name Travesty in recorded audio. So any music I've made or this show or anything, I own that. Kanye West probably owns College Dropout in the same aspect as recorded audio, but College Dropout is a common saying. There were movies made with that name before he ever used that. He can't own that period for everything in the world. So he sent them cease and desist letters, but I think this is just a bluff. But they cowered. They have every legal right to keep going. Like, I'm no stranger to cease and desist either. Do you remember when Tabasco tried suing me?
Yeah.
So I put out a CD called Tabasco, and I had a graphic artist make a modified Tabasco bottle that had my logo on it instead of their CD was named Tabasco. I put the CD out, no worries at all, but then I put that music video Tabasco out, and I'm sitting in my bedroom or in my living room, and there were a couple people over, and I get a phone call, and it was like the top trademark infringement lawyer in Georgia. And so they started sending me cease and desist. Eventually, I did take it down, and then I re-uploaded the CD to iTunes, but I called it cease and desist and just put cease and desist like police tape over the logo. They told me that I couldn't call the music video Tabasco or anything like that, but I did some research and knew they were wrong, so I just continued to do that, and nothing winded up coming of it. But they sent me letters for months, like, you made a social media post from 12 months ago that referenced Tabasco, and I'm like, fuckhead, I like Tabasco. You know, I'm not taking that down. But I think this is just a prime example why everyone hates you, Kanye. Maybe we'll ask him about it the next time he is in.
I think he just has beef with Australia. I think it was a while back, like he was supposed to perform there, and they're like, no, not unless you're vaccinated, fucker.
Oh, he's a anti-vaxxer,
Yeah.
is he?
I think that was a big thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, he subscribes to every crazy theory, so he's probably also a flat earther. He's probably seen Sam Squanch in his backyard. You know, he is a.
He hangs out with aliens.
Oh, he's absolutely nutty butters. You know, and anybody who disagrees, watch the Sway in the Morning interview, you know. You ain't got the answers, Sway. I am Shakespeare, Socrates. I am the most impactful artist of my generation. Nah, douchebag, you make pop music. It's interchangeable. What do you have for the great people today on Non Apologetic News? Go.
An insurance company must pay a Jackson County woman, which is here in Missouri, who claims she caught a sexually transmitted disease from her significant other while in his car, a $5.2 million settlement. Yeah.
Sorry.
The woman who was identified in court records as simply MO told Geico,
More like HO, am I right?
hey, she intended to seek monetary damages in February of 2021 after she allegedly contracted the human papillomavirus, HPV, from a Geico customer while in his vehicle.
From a Geico customer?
Yeah, this is all car insurance that's paying.
Well, that's an angle.
Yeah. The insurance company declined the settlement and sent the case to arbitration. In addition, the man was found liable for not disclosing his infection status. Thus, the woman was awarded $5.2 million in damages.
So, did she know the man?
Yes, her significant other, it says.
Then
Or dating or married or what.
What does Geico have to do? You know what I mean? Sue him.
Right, yeah, this what caught my eye. Why is Geico paying the $5.2 million, not him?
I was listening to the
it's a bit excessive.
Jason Ellis show just this last week, and they were talking about, each time that they've contracted STDs. And they said that like 2 out of every 3 people who have had sex apparently have HPV, like in their blood or in their, I don't know. I don't know if it's something you actually see signs of. I haven't had sex without a condom since I was like a teenager. So I would like to think I'm HPV free, but this does not seem like a Geico issue. This seems like your man stepped out on you.
Right.
And I mean, what was he like jaying off in the car?
I guess they were just banging and then she got it. I know I'm pretty sure it affects men and women different.
Yeah, I don't know. That's like when there was a story where a burglar was trying to break in through a skylight and he fell through the ceiling and he landed on a knife. And then he sued the homeowner and won for damages of like an unsafe burglary environment. I don't really know what to make of this. I would think if, I worked for Geico and this came across my desk, I'd be like, dude, tell him to fuck off.
Right, yeah.
What is the insurance company? Next, are they going to sue Chevy? They need to sue their own mother for raising such idiots is what they need to do.
Just complete and utter nonsense.
That just makes me lose faith in humanity.
You get
is
pregnant in
all
the car
that
and
does.
Chevy's going to have to pay child support now.
Yeah, that's actually a good point because they're sitting president for that to happen. Next up, I have something. It's not so much of a story as much as it's something that made me giggle. Okay, so what we have is in Hiawassee, Georgia. Well, I'm talking about Georgia again. We have a dispute between 2 different law enforcement factions. So we have the county sheriff getting into a verbal altercation with the sergeant of the police department. So I did a little bit of research on the hierarchy of police, and apparently your county sheriffs are elected, or not elected, they're, elected by the people. So they literally just answer to the people because that's going to determine whether they get their job back or not the next time. However, the sergeant has to answer to the police chief, and it's an appointed position. You apply, you get hired or get promoted from the ranks, right? So it seems to me like I believe the county sheriff has, he's in charge as far as the police department would go. So how this started was the police department was pulling people over outside the city limits. And it wasn't that thing. If anyone doesn't know, if the police have their lights on while you're still in their jurisdiction, they can pursue you outside of their jurisdiction. But that's not the case here. They're just flat out pulling people over outside the city limits.
They're parked on the side of the road in the next county over.
Yeah, and the sheriff isn't having it. Now, another fun fact for people who don't know, if you're outside a cop's jurisdiction and he's behind you and you drive into his jurisdiction, he can pull you over for what you did outside of his jurisdiction. I know it sounds wrong, but I've been to court for this exact thing. So if you got a cop behind you and you're about to drive into his city, like cut a side road or something and don't even give him the chance. But so here's how this started. They were doing all this. The sheriff was getting mad. There was a police chase earlier in the afternoon, and the sheriff comes over the radio and he says, "You need to stop pursuing right now." And the sergeant went, "Make me." So we have a video. And what's happening in this video is the sergeant of the police department, he pulls over someone outside the city limits, and the sheriff, it comes over the radio. So he busts ass to the traffic stop, right? And how this video starts is we see the sheriff comes right up to the window of the man who's just been pulled over by the police department, and he's asking, did you get pulled over inside the city limits or outside? I hope everyone loves this as much as I did. Here we go.
The city or out here?
Just right here.
Okay.
Go pull the video at Valero. You get on my traffic stop again, I will arrest you.
Yeah, I'll arrest you right now.
Do it, buddy.
And we're going to
do it.
Charges
do
against
it.
your ignorant.
Do it, Ode.
Go for it.
Do it. There's cameras at Valero and there's cameras at Napa that see you pulled out.
Shut your mouth.
You don't talk to me like that. I'm not your boy.
Talk to you, boy. You a boy.
Thank you.
You a fuck boy.
Thank you, sir.
Everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Count 302, status check.
10-4.
Okay. So, what we had was we had the sheriff calling the sergeant of the police department a fuckboy and threatening to whoop his ass. Now, I would like to back this up and watch this one more time just because of how much enjoyment I get out of this. So you have to picture what's happened. The sheriff speeds up and he's like, I'm not tolerating the police department's nonsense.
Inside the city or out here?
Just right here.
Okay.
So he said just right here, outside the city limits.
You get on my traffic stop again, I
He's
will
shaking,
arrest
he's
you.
so mad.
I'll arrest you right now.
Do it, buddy.
And we're going to
do it.
Charges
do
against
it.
your ignorant.
Do it, Ode.
Go for it.
Do it. There's cameras at
Where'd he
Valero,
learn the term
and there's
fuckboy?
cameras at Napa that see
I know, but he just called him Earl and it clearly says Ken on his shirt.
Talk to me like that. I'm not your boy.
Talk to you, boy. You a boy.
You a fuck boy.
Thank you, sir.
Everybody.
Thank you.
That is just so awesome right there. There has been no resolution. This was just the other day. So they're just fighting with each other, and it seems like it's going to make it all the way to fisticuffs. You know what I mean?
I hope so. A man has been sentenced to 30 months in prison after raping numerous chickens, of which at least 15 died to the abuse. I like that one.
Yeah, it's my chicken fucker sound effect.
Shane Waters has previously been convicted of having sex with a horse and a donkey, saying in a police interview that he cannot control its urges. Waters, 40, also admitting to having sex with his pet Great Dane, who would bite him and growl while he did it.
Jesus.
Wonder why. Waters came to police attention after a farmer found 4 dead and several unwell-looking chickens in a shed on his farm.
So these weren't even his chickens.
No.
He's having sex with other people's chickens. You would think if you are that type, you would like start a farm or something and not go have to outside of your comfort zone to get your prey. Does he eat them? No, he left them dead. So he didn't even eat them afterwards. He's like, no, that's sick. I don't eat animals.
He's a vegan.
Oh, Jesus.
After checking his CCTV, the farmer found footage of a man entering one of the chicken sheds, which had been bolted shut, and remaining inside for around 20 minutes.
What's this brother smoking over here?
The police were contacted while the RSPCA carried out an investigation, finding traces of Waters inside 2 of the chickens.
All right, we're done with this story. We are done with this. You somehow find the most depraved part of society, and I don't want to hear anything else about this guy. I wish we had a chicken sound effect, though. A little cluck cluck would have done good here. But yeah, how does a man get to this point?
I have no fucking idea.
This is how, like, real bad diseases get started, right? You have sex with the livestock, and then you go have sex with a lady, and now the lady has, like, the chicken fever.
Poo in her.
Oh, Jesus. All right. We're going to wrap up today's episode with that note, and I'm going to go throw up 3, maybe 4 times. I am Travisty. The 6th son of a bitch sitting next to me is Body Bag. We are Non Apologetic News. You can't get these stories anywhere else. So tune in. We'll be back next week. Thank y'all.
I'm going to go get some KFC.
Oh.